There we go. Well, this is messed up today. Let me just get the laptop or actually the desktop set up. Hey, Kellyanne, how are you? I had to go on like twice because the camera didn't kick in for some reason. There's like a little YouTube glitch. A lot of glitches since last week. And I got my new tripod here and it's blocking the view on my screen. Hey, Demas. My back is killing me, actually. I've been doing a storage clean out of the older business files this week for 3 days. And I'm not done yet, but I'm making huge progress. I can only do a little bit at a time, just because, my disability and my horrible back and, carrying a lot of stuff to the mailbox for shredding and getting rid of the old boxes and making room for the new. Although there's not a lot of new going in with, me being mostly retired. Hey, Rita. Hey, Leanne. They've been talking about that Nancy case. Who's been talking about Nancy? That's what we're going to talk about today, day number 95. And the tripod, when I hold the new iPhone 17 is very heavy, so it kind of leans a little bit. I don't know how I can fix that. Yeah, it's terrible. I usually do it every year, but I've been, fighting for my life since 2018, 2019, and there was just a lot of old years in there, and it's so dusty and dirty. And then I dropped a box that didn't have a bottom for some reason, and the bottom just caved out, and all these glass Christmas ornaments that were old. I haven't used them in years, but they were very expensive. Several of them smashed all over the floor, and I had to bring in the next visit, bring a broom and a dustpan and get down on my hands and knees and pick up little slivers of glass. It was just not fun. Um, oh, yeah, I talked about that, VMIS, on yesterday's live. You can do the replay. Um, I know that he's frustrated. She says, I missed yesterday if you were on. What are your thoughts on what Cash Patel said? Yeah, we talked about it on yesterday's video, but let me introduce myself before we get started. I'm April Davis, April Davis PI. I'm a licensed California private investigator, and I've had a 35 plus full-time career. The last 7 years, mostly retired due to health issues. I've been doing a live almost every day since this Nancy Guthrie case happened. We're on day number 95. Hey, Kathy. Uh, Oh, Savannah, she's fine, Michael. Are you referring to Nancy? Yeah, I saw that, Leanne. We're going to talk about that actually. There's a couple things I wanted to bring up Elizabeth Smart, but before I do that, I wanted to tell you that Savannah did get called out mid-show today from the Today Show, where she went off the air quickly, didn't come back, but they said she would be back tomorrow. Hey, Kathy Doherty. So they didn't really say why, but I have a feeling that when those moments have happened, that she may be getting an important phone call, regarding this case, maybe from the FBI or from Pima County Sheriff. Um, that's a possibility that it was an urgent call regarding our mother's case. I'm drinking a Diet Stewart's root beer today. I always let you guys know so that, YouTube doesn't think it's alcohol. So, yeah, I wonder too, Bemis, why did she have to leave today? But her co-host did say that she would be back tomorrow. In fact, I just checked the wire before I went on because I've been so busy with the storage thing today. I haven't even gone outside yet to take out my garbage or drive my car yet. I've been so busy with that. But I checked it, I check it when I wake up, And then I checked it before I went on the air, and it said Savannah Guthrie unexpectedly left the Today Show midday through the May 6th broadcast, once again fueling speculation as the search for her missing mother, Nancy Guthrie, continues. The longtime anchor quietly exited the show. I wish I could have seen that. I've seen the clip from the first time it happened, but not this time. About 90 minutes into the episode, with co host Craig Melvin later telling viewers Savannah had to leave a little early. She'll be right back tomorrow, though. So, yeah, Nancy. No, Leanne, Savannah. Savannah had to leave the show. Uh, Now, are you talking to Michael, who said Savannah is DEAD? I think he meant Nancy. It's where they will find her. What is where they will find her? Uh, no official reason was given for her sudden departure. However, the timing immediately drew attention to the ongoing investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Savannah had only recently returned to Today on April the 6th after taking a 2-month hiatus to be with family during the search for her mother. Yeah, I'm surprised she's even back, actually. Nancy, 84, was last seen at her Tucson home around 9:30 p.m. on January 31st. Well, actually around 9:48. And was reported missing the following day after she failed to appear for church. Well, actually, she had failed to appear for a live stream of a church service at a friend's house. No telling why she had to go, says me, miss. Um, oh, Leanne says, correct. I was correcting Michael. He said the Savannah was DEAD. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I was like, what? Did I just say something wrong? Um, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says the case remains active and ongoing. And supposedly they're still in the lead, but I don't really think so. I think the FBI is basically leading the charge at this time. So, officially they are the lead, but I don't really think they're doing much at this time as far as Pima County is concerned. Officials believe Nancy may have been taken from her home after surveillance footage captured a masked individual, also known as Front Porch Guy, approaching the property and striking a security camera. And we have also talked about all these people who are saying that, well, it didn't really happen there, it happened elsewhere. And then all these, these bad guys showed up later to stage the scene. I'm not saying that the scene wasn't staged. I'm not saying that the ransom notes are not red herrings, but they were casing her neighborhood. Somebody in a white van. The guy, front porch guy, showed up approximately January the 11th at that same front door, wearing a ski mask, without his weapon, without his backpack. They caught him again on camera the night that or the early morning of February 1st, the morning she disappeared. Her pacemaker stopped syncing at that point when she was about 30 feet away from her house where her devices were found. There's blood on the front porch that has her DNA that experts believe some of the droplets had oxygen in them, also known as oxygenated blood droplets, because they bubbled when they hit the ground. They think she was low to the ground, punched in the face right there. She wasn't very high. So I really, truly believe that whatever happened did happen there. I'm not sure about the forced entry into the back or anywhere in the property because they've said that there was, then they say that there wasn't. They also said there was blood in the house, then they say that there isn't, but nothing is official. The sheriff's department has provided 2 separate timelines as to when the family was notified, when they actually drove to the house to look for her, when did they call 911, what time did the cops get there? Apparently, it was a few minutes after the call. But when was that call? How long did Annie and Tommaso know that she was quote unquote missing until they went over there? And how long was it? It seems like it may have been quite a number of hours before Annie called Savannah. But remember, the sheriff has given multiple timelines on all of this. Kathy says, is tonight Brian Enton's 1-hour special on Nancy Guthrie on the CW? Yes, it is. And I wanted to remind everybody of that. You can download the CW app for free on a mobile device or a tablet and watch it. If you don't have that channel, like already on your TV, you can download it for free. If anybody knows what time it's coming on, let me know in the chat. Let us pray nobody is missing. Well, somebody is missing. That's why we're here. That's why I've been here for 95 days. Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mom of Savannah Guthrie, who is the co-host of the Today Show. Oh, you heard 9 p.m.? Okay. 9 p.m. Eastern? Because then we'll get it at 9 p.m. Pacific if that's the case. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll definitely be tuning into that. I've been looking forward to that actually. Now, I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going to be said on that by some of these experts, especially the one psychologist, doctor who thinks that, you know, there's somebody that said it was a single person. There's someone that says it most likely happened elsewhere and then everything was brought over and staged. I don't believe all of that. Um, why does this guy come in and hassle people? Goodbye. Goodbye, Marvin. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Now, this was interesting. This also came up today. Elizabeth Smart. Does anybody remember her? Uh, Even though she was found and she was found alive, her case, there were similarities between her and JonBenet Ramsey because it's kind of all connected to someone that the mothers brought into the house. And in her case, Elizabeth Smart, luckily, her little sister recognized the guy. And then sadly, it took about a year for her to realize, like, oh, that was so and so. And when she realized who it was and that she knew she recognized him, but she wasn't sure. And then when she remembered the name, then the parents were able to contact the cops and they put out an APB. And I think within a matter of hours, they had her kidnappers. And I always thought she was alive because there would always be multiple sightings of Elizabeth Smart, and a lot of the sightings would be in the same area. And even more sightings were confirmed once she was found. Like, oh yeah, I saw her at such and such gas station, on her way to California from Utah. Like, um, she was a young girl. She was, I think, 14. Sadly, she was taken um, for essay purposes and enslaved for a long time. I don't know how she's managed to put her life back together. And she said that you have to keep the hope that Nancy could still be alive because she's living proof. And there are other cases, especially involving children, where they show up decades later. Sometimes they've even birthed children with their kidnappers, but this is a different situation. This is an 84-year-old woman who had a pacemaker. She had health problems. She had mobility problems. They didn't take her medication with them. I don't know if her medication was individually put in one of those little pill holders that had like the days, like for the AM and the PM doses, because there is a rumor going around that not only did they not take her meds, whoever took her, and they left her phone, her purse, her wallet, her car keys, um, her Apple Watch, her hearing aids, like everything that she would need to function was left behind, and apparently even maybe her shoes, like her clothing. Like she was taken out in the middle of the night with no shoes, just whatever she was wearing when she went to bed. She wouldn't have been able to hear even orders from the kidnappers without her hearing aids. She wouldn't have heard them break into her house until they were pulling her out of her bed. This poor woman, I don't think she could survive very long. And now they're saying that the night dose, and this is where it gets kind of weird because she would have taken that most likely before she went to bed. There's rumors that the night pills were still there in the kitchen, that she had all the bottles out in the kitchen. And I don't know if they counted pills. I don't know how they figured that out. Maybe she did have a pill holder. And sometimes they have like a double row, like one for AM and one for PM. And then it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through Sunday. Maybe like the morning dose was taken, but the evening dose wasn't. And that kind of bothers me because I think she would have taken those when she got home after Tommaso allegedly dropped her off at around 9:48 p.m. That's when the garage door opened. 9:50, the garage door closed. I think that's kind of quick, like boom, boom, when she was so disabled and supposedly he didn't walk her in. Like, what's that about? And then, she would have most likely at that time taken her medication and gone to bed. But now there's a rumor that those evening pills were never touched. Now, I can't confirm that. we can't confirm any of this because we weren't there. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been tried. Once somebody gets caught and they can bring all the characters or actors that are involved in this into being criminally charged, tried, and prosecuted, hopefully they will broadcast the trial on, like court TV or something like that. And then we can get all these little details confirmed. And I'm sure Nanos will have to testify, and, that'll be a crap show since his story changes so often. Um, yeah, so Elizabeth Smart is saying, don't give up hope because she could still be out there. Hey, Kathy Mallory. Hey, Jay. Uh, I don't think that she is, but as a detective, I've always had the mindset that when you have a case, any type of a case where someone goes missing, and it could be a kidnapping, an abduction, someone just walked away, where in this case that didn't happen, uh, an unaliving, whether it was intentional or accidental. I always think that until you have a body, that you have to keep looking and you can never give up. Um, VMIS has followed her entire case. Oh, you mean the Elizabeth Smart case? I followed that too. And I always believed the little sister who said that a man came into their bedroom with a GUN and took her. And there was evidence of a break in through the kitchen window. And when all was said and done, guess what? It was someone who the mother had brought into their home. And if you think back almost 30 years to JonBenet Ramsey, there was a lot of people that were brought into that home before that crime happened. Just saying. Can't go too deep into that here, but just saying. Luckily, Elizabeth Smart was found. I don't know how she psychologically recovered from everything that's happened to her. She must be a very strong person. She's recently become a bodybuilder, but today, I guess her dad, Ed Smart, went into, like, he said something to the press about this, especially because he was, so many people looked at him and pointed at him, and, like, you got to be open to the possibility that, it's not who everybody's pointing the finger at. But now she's come forward saying you can't give up because, yeah, she is living proof, Miss. She says, yes, that's true. She is living proof. Yeah, she could still be alive, but I doubt it. Now, yesterday, one of these profilers was saying that it's very possible that the abductor could be deceased. Yeah. Um, cat hair or something is stuck in my. uh, she could be. Or he, because I think the perps are men. There could be somebody that's been knocked off. But I still have a very strong feeling. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not working the case, but there's still someone that is a living person at this moment, as far as I know, who needs to be eliminated off the list of possible front porch guy people. Because there's a few people that a lot of people say, oh, it's him or it's him or it's this person. There's one person in my mind that needs to be eliminated. If he is or is, like, if he's not involved, let's move on from him. Um, I'm not, I can't really say that, oh, maybe front porch guy is already deceased because the person that I called in a tip on to the FBI and it didn't go well the first call, the second call went much better, but I've still never been contacted. Um, and I've been able to connect the dots even further since those calls. Especially something that was said in the subsequent Bitcoin ransoms. Like, I knew it. Um, I kind of think I don't think that nobody's coming forward because somebody's been taken out. I don't have any evidence of that one of the people involved has been taken out. Um, hey, Peggy, welcome in. Let's see. We got all the Kathys here today. Kathy Mowry. Hey, Rowan. We've seen Leanne. I missed anybody? I hope not. Kathy with a C. And thanks, Leanne, for fixing I think Michael meant Nancy. I hope that they find her. I don't think she's going to be found alive. I do think that, Nanos has got to swallow his arrogant pride, and they've got to bring in searchers. I don't think it's a rescue mission at this point. It would be a recovery mission. Every stitch of desert within so many miles of her house needs to be, her house being the center of the target, and then you cast the net further as time goes on. That should have already been done. Just forget your ego, Nanos, and let these people help you. Obviously, your department hasn't been able to accomplish the job. And I don't think that the FBI, they even have a highly specialized team of boots on the ground type of searchers. If I'm wrong, let me know. I think you need to let a group in. And why Nanos keeps turning that down, it makes him look suspicious. Like, are you hiding something, Sheriff Nanos? Has somebody paid you off? I'd hate to make an accusation about a law enforcement official, an elected official, but why are you not allowing these groups who have great track records to come in and assist? We all should be working on this together, not like, oh, I hate the FBI and I'm in my own corner and they're in their own corner and I'm not going to let them use their own plane to take the DNA evidence to Quantico, Virginia. I'm going to do it my way, and we're going to further delay the case another 3 months, and I'm going to unsecure the crime scene before the FBI is even called on day 4 and have it compromised and evidence ruined. It makes him look more suspicious as every day goes by. At first it's just like, hey, Keystone Cop, like, dumbass, but it almost seems like it's calculated to do everything wrong. And I supported him for a long time, but I can no longer do so. Kathy Mowry says, I think money talks. Jay says, I agree about Nanos' pride. Hey, Karen. Well, we got the Kathys and the Karens, and we had one of the Kellys in here. I don't know if she's still in here. Where are all the other Kellys? I haven't seen Kelly Ray lately. Are you out there? Jane, hello. Welcome in. I'm interested to see this Brian Enton special. I don't think there's going to be anything earth-shaking that's going to come out of this that we don't already know. But it's worth a watch. I like Brian Enton. There's a big YouTuber out there that's been reporting on this, and I think he's run out of things to do as far as boots on the ground. And a lot of people have either positive or negative feelings from him. But did anybody see, because I don't watch him very often, I don't have time to watch hardly anybody, but did anybody see JLR last night at the Stanley Hotel in Estes, Colorado? I saw just a part of it before he went to bed. Quite interesting. Leanne Rayner, it's such a shame that the FBI was kept away early. Nanos' history with the FBI is not good. Long-standing issues with him and the FBI. Exactly. Yeah, Brian is great. And I like when he's been able to talk to some of the neighbors. That's why it was so exciting for me when a simple gal at heart came in here and introduced herself. And it turned out she's a longtime resident of Tucson and actually lives in the Catalina foothills, lives in Nancy's neighborhood, knows the whole layout and the streets. And she told me, that it's like a maze and you'd have to really know the neighborhood well, like to be able to get in and to get out and, or you just end up on dead end streets. Like the whole neighborhood is like a maze. and it's very dark. It's pitch dark. And it was quite cool as far as weather-wise the night that this happened. Um, yeah, you know what's really weird too is there's what is that neighbor? I think I called her Aileen, but I think it's Aldine. Is it Adine? Aldine? What is the neighbor who started receiving letters in the mail addressed to Brian, and I guess she opened them and they were turned over to the FBI, and a special agent came out and secured the letters, and apparently it's some kind of weird stuff. I call it the manifesto emails that I sometimes get. Oh, yeah. Oh, and he apologized, but no need for him to apologize. Somebody, I guess, I'm assuming they were trying to call the police or the FBI and they weren't getting the results that they wanted. And so they sent letters to Brian Inton, but why not just send them to Brian Inton? I'm sure he's got a mail drop somewhere or a P.O. box somewhere, or, send it to his email or to News Nation. Aileen, is that her name, Kathy? Aileen? Okay, Leanne says it's Aldine because I thought it was Aline, but I think it's Aldine now. Now it's driving me crazy. And there was another woman, and I can't remember her name, where I actually went into the house and they sat on her sofa, and her house was just like gorgeous. And he was saying like how pretty her house was and how nice her things were. That lady was super nice as well. And you know, there's so many people involved in this now. A lot of people that are being helpful, people that are being non-helpful, disrespectful. Um, the neighbors are taking care of the memorial now out at the property, like they're picking up some of the dead stuff because I guess the HOA was trying to come down on the Guthries. Like, come on, like nobody's even home there. Uh, he introduced her as Aileen. Now I'm going back and forth because I've heard it so many different ways. I wish I could find that interview. But she's the one who got some of his mail and it was turned over to the FBI, and that prompted a visit to her house, I guess, to come pick it up. And the FBI actually sat down with her and said that we're working very hard to solve this case. And something's going on because twice now, Savannah, including today, if you haven't heard, if you weren't here earlier, Savannah was taken out from her own show where they called her away, and they filmed that live. That's not a tape recorded show. Now, when we get it here, it's 3 hours delayed, obviously, but that is recorded live, and she had to very quickly leave. Uh, Capture Dandy says nothing is going on. You mean nothing new? Why did Savannah have to leave the Today Show today? I think she got an important phone call. Like a very important phone call, like relating to the case. And it seems like the producers have kind of set it up that way, like, don't talk to Savannah, nobody bring Nancy up during the taping or the live recording of the show, but if something happens, we may have to get her off air very quickly. She leaves whenever there is news about the story. Well, there's news, like, every hour of every day. Now, a lot of it is just recirculated. Like when I come on here, I always try to tell you guys the latest, and we talk about it, and you guys can, ask me questions. But remember, this is day number 95, and I've been going every single day except I missed my February 6th appearance because I was in surgery. I think I might have missed one other day for medical stuff, but I've come on every day since this happened. And sometimes I come on 2 times a day. So if we're up to 95, I got to have over 100 different videos on this, I'm sure. But I'm not going to beat a dead horse and talk about the same stuff over and over and over again. So sometimes people come in on the replays, like later in the evening, and they're like, "Oh, it was so great, and I really enjoy your video." And then all of a sudden, like the train went off the track, and you guys are talking about other stuff. And well, that's because I'm a YouTuber now, and I'm a monetized YouTuber. So I don't know if you can call me professional yet, but as of, this month, I will actually earn a small paycheck for it. And I do want my audience to be able to get to know me and ask questions. People ask me about my career, people ask me about California. If somebody wants to ask me something unrelated to the case once we get done talking about it, fine. And for those that are watching on the replay that, they don't like the length of the show, it was too short or it was too long or we talked about too many other things, then I will just tell those people politely that they don't have to watch. Nobody's making you watch. um, Karen Bitcove says you are correct. Does anybody have anything else like that's come in today that I haven't heard about? Because I heard about Savannah and leaving the Today Show, and she's supposed to return tomorrow. So it's nothing that took her out of town, but it took her off camera. Arizona Desert Walker, welcome in, says nope. And then I heard about, statement from Elizabeth Smart, which I thought was interesting because I've always felt the same way. Unless you have a body, you got to keep going. But even if we had evidence that she was deceased, you have to keep going because we need to find her. We need to know who did this. And I don't want the evidence to be so old by the time they find it that it's compromised, like everything in that house. Everything in that property is compromised. Like this should have been done from week one. Kathy, got to find my hype button. Kathy Mowry, I like your attitude. She says in her super chat, everybody be sure to like that, that she thinks it will be coming soon. Let me scroll down to that so I can heart that. Gosh, I hope you're right, Kathy. Gosh, I just don't know why there's been such a delay to do a search. And it's still today, no, day number 95, and the weather's getting worse and worse as we get closer to summer, and there's still no search. Like they've already searched the house umpteen times. They've spent, almost 6 weeks with Annie Tomaso's vehicle. They've been in their house doing CSI work more than they've been at Nancy Guthrie's house where the scene of the crime was. What about the surrounding area? That whole neighborhood sits within the desert. Look at it. I got the house on the green screen. Look at it. Haven't you seen the video with Brian Enton and a former law enforcement officer, and they're in the utility easement behind the houses? Like, that's just raw desert. And then all those canals and the tunnels. Oh, and then just the vast desert that surrounds Tucson. You're only 70 miles away from the Mexican border. I can't imagine what they're going to come across if somebody's ever able to come in and do that search. Um, it was amazing weather this week. Here too, Arizona Desert Walker. Um, okay, Leanne, thank you so much, honey. Looked up the neighbor online. Her name is Aldine. Aldine. I thought so because I think I had called her Aileen by mistake, but it's Aldine or Aldine. Aldine. And where exactly does she live? Does she live on Nancy Guthrie Street? Actually, she did get the car back, Leanne. Just before it hit like week 6 that they had. She does have the car back. At least that's what's being reported by everybody because people had been calling the sheriff regarding that and they had been updating that, which I'm surprised they did. Lori Smith. She sent a 6-7. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, they do have the car back. And it's amazing when they took Luke Daly's Range Rover, they only had it for a couple of days. Now think about that. How long they were at Annie Tomaso's, how long they had their vehicle. And I still don't know when they took Luke Daly's Range Rover from the Culver's parking lot. He had recently purchased that car, and allegedly he bought it from Zach Jaghoob, also known as, Zaydon Hamad El Jaghoob. Now, Zach has left the country. They only had the car a couple of days. What was in the car? Were they looking at Zach, or not Zach, but Luke, because they were interested in Luke? Was it something perhaps Kayla Day said when she was being brought in on warrants and she said something? Was it had nothing to do with Kayla being picked up on outstanding warrants? Were they after him specifically, or were they more interested in him because they were interested in the Range Rover? Because whatever it was, they never arrested Luke, and they released that Range Rover just a couple days later. Even with little Carlos, and I think I know why they were interested in him. It was a mistaken identity because of his father living in Tucson and being a registered S offender, um, and then they probably pinged the younger one's phone because he was a delivery driver Monday through Friday in Tucson. They didn't even keep his his wife's car that he got pulled over in. They never even went to his house and took the white van that he said is broken. Because remember, they've been looking for a white van. He had a white van broken down in his mother-in-law's property where he lives with his wife and his two sons. So that all happened quick. The Luke thing happened quick. But Annie Tomaso, that went on for like half this case with the house searching and the car searching, and I still, even though I'm not naming them as suspects, because remember, everybody on my channel is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Um, I don't like their body language. And it doesn't mean that they are kidnappers. It doesn't mean that they unalived her or they hired someone to kidnap her or unalive her. But I, as a detective of 42 years, and I've spent most of my life doing this because I'm old as dirt now. Most of my life, I've been a professional investigator. And I've interviewed thousands of people. And I can spot things that are off immediately with body language. The body language shows deception and shame. But I'm not saying they're on the top of the suspect list at all. They were her caregivers, for Christ's sakes. If they had nothing to do with this, I feel so bad for them if they had nothing to do with this. Um, okay, it was her next door neighbor that Brian addressed as Aileen, and now we're being told that it's Aldine. I do think something is about to happen finally. That's interesting, V Miss 5, and why do you think that is? I'm just curious. Why do we think that? Because I remember when JLR was extending his stay out there because he's like, I know something's going to break. I know something's getting ready to break. And it didn't. Then he went back to Florida. But then he came back again. And then he left again. Then he went to Oklahoma. Now he's, chasing ghosts at the Stanley Hotel. Which I have to say, even with all of his previous indiscretions, whether you like the guy or not, there is a little humor. There has to be some humor in this case. And to me, like, whether it's been good or bad, positive or negative, he's kind of been the humor in this. Oh, Bemis says, seems like people are getting restless. I'd sure like to know why Savannah was called offset today. I'd like to know. Kathy Mowry says it could be that they changed the name for protection of her. You mean Aldine's name? Whose name, Kathy? Miss is just a feeling, and yes, the humor with JLR's good. We don't know what's true about his past, so I don't worry about it. Well, we know he's a convicted felon and that he served many, many years in prison. And we know that he's been connected to supposedly thousands of um, litigious actions, most of which were thrown out. Um, that's also called a professional claimant or a professional plaintiff. I've actually had a few cases like that in my career, and usually those people never change. Um, yeah, Miss whose name? She's asking Kathy Mowry. It could be that they changed the name for protection of her. Oh, this Aline or Aldine. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Kathy Doherty. You were here earlier. Did you leave and come back? How many of you are going to watch the Brian Inton special tonight on the Nancy Guthrie case? Yes, he was, Leanne, which is very disturbing, but there has never been an arrest and no criminal charges have been filed. Well, I've got my mojo. Hello. Kathy Mowry says, I have a good memory and I remember that. Yeah, and God forbid that if he is guilty of the domestic allegations, then, hopefully they would charge him. But the longer it goes and I don't see an arrest, the more I get suspicious of the whole thing. It's kind of like the baseball player Trevor Bauer and the teammates, they don't like him, they call him he was a cancer to the clubhouse. And I know that the commissioner of baseball didn't like him because of the sticky stuff situation with the pitchers. And maybe the guy's just a real a-hole, but um all these women that accused him of SA, none of them have been able to prove their cases and no charges have ever been filed, and the guy's been blackballed from Major League Baseball. Hey, whoever's hitting those red hearts, thank you so much. 33 people watching. Can you hit that thumbs up button? Smash the like button. I hope you guys are all subscribed to me. I'm trying to get to 3,000. We're getting closer. It's slowed down the last few days, but let me see where we're at right now. Dashboard on YouTube Studio says 2765. Oh, wow. I've gained 5 since I went on the air. Thank you so much. Well, she's going on TV, but would need to change her name. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if she changed her name or they changed her name. I mean, I got the feeling that's who she was, but Aileen, Aldine, Arlene, who knows at this point? Um, but I guess it was some of the weird kind of mail that, we often see that as detectives when it comes to stalkers. People get weird mail, and I've actually gotten some weird emails since I said, "Hey, everybody, send me an email if you want," and I'll keep it private. But I get some weird stuff now that's just like, oh God. But I haven't had anybody that sent me any email that says that they're confessing to the crime. If I got something like that, I would turn it over to the FBI. But, there's so many mentally deranged people that are even following this case, and look at just some of the weirdos that have walked by her house, intoxicated, or the guy that drove by 50 to 100 times and he, would slow down and he had a cell phone with her picture on it. I don't know if did they ever catch that guy or identify that guy? The weird neighbors that's having visions, like, oh my God. Uh, if she's talking with Brian and remembering the mail, they could be worried about her maybe getting threats. Yeah, well, I hope all those people have good security because we still don't know who did this and why. So if I lived in that neighborhood, I would certainly be, you know, on the alert. I've got my mojo. The sheriff department and FBI don't appear to be seeing eye to eye on a few issues. Exactly. And now they have to start all over with that DNA. Ah, so much lost time. Aileen had long blonde hair. Yes. I'm trying to remember the other woman's name that where he sat on the sofa with her in her house. She had a gorgeous house, whoever that woman was. I love Nancy's house. I love that house. And I love the fact that there's a pool in the back and that there's a guest house. I'd love to have a house like that and then rent my guest house. But I could never live in a house like that by myself. Like I wouldn't be able to go to sleep at night. Look at all the windows and apparently there's 5 or 6 separate entrances into the house. Thank you for all the smiley faces and the red hearts. Whoever's doing that, thank you so much. It helps the algorithm as far as I know. And thank you for the super chat earlier and for the people that sent the jewels. B misses. Oh yeah, I remember her too. Um, Arizona Desert Walker says, everyone here have a beautiful night. Enjoy swimming time. Enjoy Arizona Desert Walker. Thank you for coming. B Miss 5 says, no, I couldn't live on that big of a house or in that big of a house either. Yeah, exactly. Um, I live in a big city and it's places aren't as small as Manhattan, but they're almost that small. And there's one door, and if you're lucky, you have 1 or 2 windows. And that's how I've lived for most of my adult life, like small spaces, one big door to uh, secure an alarm and put special locks on. Yes, Jay. She says, I have a sliding glass door that makes me nervous. There's a material that a security company can put on the glass so that if somebody tries to break it, it won't even break. It's some kind of special film. Bemis says, I have a small house now. I would love to have a small house. I've got my mojo says, I wish you would write a book. I bet you have some great stories. So many people tell me that. But in my career, especially earlier in my career, before I had my own business, even after I got my own license, I still worked another 3 years for other people. So I worked for 8 years for 3 companies. Then got my license in 92. Didn't go out on my own until the very, very end of 95. And it took a while to get it going because I had some health issues with my immune system back then. So I had to take a little bit of a break and then finally realized like if I'm going to keep doing this, I got to go start my own company. And there's just a lot of things I can't talk about. Kathy says she lives on the 7th floor. And I know one of the Kathys here lives in Missouri. Where do you live, Doherty? And you don't have to say if you don't want, like, what state do you live in or what part of the country? The only thing I wouldn't like about the 7th floor is I'd have to take elevators all day long. And if there's an elevator to be stuck, April Davis PI will be in it. Had that situation since I was 4 years old. Oh, yeah, Massachusetts. Home is where you hang your hat. Exactly. But I love that house. I mean, look at it in the background and look at the landscaping, the saguaro cacti, and Nancy. Apparently, her favorite thing is there was a certain time of the year where the javelinas would come into her yard and eat the flowers, and she loved that. Of course, you'd have to deal with rattlesnakes, which I don't mind snakes, but I don't want to step on a rattlesnake, and I certainly wouldn't want to get into my house. I have small pets, so, if I got bit by a rattlesnake at my age with my heart, I'd probably be in 5 minutes, I'd be gone. So, you'd have to watch your step. Um, I've heard some kind of disgusting things about after the monsoon, the monsoonal season or during the monsoonal season that you've really got to make sure that your house is sealed well and your plumbing is sealed and um, your garage door seals properly. to prevent snakes and other creatures from getting in. Some people I've heard in the area, they have to plug their sinks up at night. Like, that's kind of gross. Um, oh, okay. I heard about that, V-Miss. They just had a snake out there 2 nights. I wish I could see video about that. Said it was a rat snake. At first, I heard it was a rattlesnake. Then I heard it was a bull snake. And now they're saying a rat snake. I would have loved to have seen that. I have a solid, or Jay says, I have a solid wood tube on the bottom of the sliding door, so you can't slide it unless it is removed and unlocked, but you can break the glass. Yeah, there's some security film that you can get where you can get it professionally installed that will prevent it from breaking if somebody tries to even bash it with a baseball bat. Kathy says, I have a large apartment, 2 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, 2-car garage. Oh, always wanted a garage. Nice sized kitchen with pantry. I don't have one of those either. Nice sized living room, laundry. Can I come move in, Kathy? A laundry room. Yeah, I could sleep in a space as small as a closet if I could have a garage and a laundry room. Hard to keep up at times in Missouri. That sounds, for LA, that would be a palace to have 2 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, a 2-car garage, a nice sized kitchen pantry, a nice sized living room. Oh, wow. Laundry room. Oh, my. I, I want to move to Missouri now. V-Miss says it was a big snake. Jay says I stay away from all snakes. I was actually really into snakes when I was a kid and wanted to have one, but my mom was terrified. So I did buy one from a neighbor, but we had to keep it down at his house. And then they got away while he was at school, and a neighbor killed them all. They were all hacked to death, which is horrible. Um, Venus 5, they also have a lot of big lizards come up while they are streaming. They give them water. It's so funny. Oh, I'd love to see that. When we lived on the Gulf Coast, there was a lot of lizards. We have a lot of lizards here in LA, but I know in the desert though they have some huge lizards. We even have alligator lizards here in LA, and there's one that I see occasionally comes into my carport, and it's big. I briefly stayed with somebody years ago. Between moves, I stayed at a place in the San Gabriel Valley, and there was an alligator lizard that lived in the garage. And I went out there to do some work and picked up a bucket, and it like ran across my foot, and I thought it was a rattlesnake. And it wasn't. And I screamed. And then when I realized what it was, I thought it was cool. Um, but my boyfriend refused to go in the garage from that point. And I'm like, you're such a wuss. It's just an alligator lizard, dude. Like, oh my God. Troubled One! Oh my God, everybody welcome my friend Troubled One Pay Dirt. And speaking of pay dirt, I need some so bad. Hey, Troubled One, did you hear the big news? My YouTube channel got remonetized on March 25th at 10:36 p.m. Yay! Are you impressed, Troubled? Yes. So never give up. If you haven't got yours monetized yet, never give up. Thank you. Everybody, say hello to my friend Troubled One. He's one of my very good friends in the gold community. Thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, I'm doing these vertical lives because I get more people that can view me on a vertical than on just a horizontal. Because I don't have as big a following as you do. You know what? I was way under because when I was troubled, when I was briefly monetized before and didn't know what I was doing, and then they took it down, and then I deleted like a third of my videos. I lost all my watch hours. I didn't think I was ever going to get them back. And then I started this true crime live series, and the people just started coming in, and the donations started coming in, and I couldn't believe it. And I thought, wow, maybe I could actually get remonetized. Maybe I should keep going. And I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to keep Nancy Guthrie's case relevant. But yeah, I've missed you, dude. How's Milo Kitty doing? Uh, uh, Kalea Hearn. I haven't seen you in a while. She says, "Oh my God, How you again? I love you so much. I'm doing good. Have you been watching the videos, Kalea? I didn't see a Lori in here. You know what? Oh, there she is. I missed you, Lori. How you doing, honey? Nothing bothers me except tarantulas. You know what? I had a boss who went out of town once and he wanted me to go over to his house. We had an office over in the Peter Lorre estate in Mandeville Canyon, which is part of LA. And they had a kid's birthday party over there where they brought like lizards and snakes and tarantulas. And, he wasn't going to be home. He was out with one of our entertainment clients. And he's like, can you go over and help my wife, Kathy, and just like kind of supervise like the kids at the party? And I'm like, sure, no problem. And I went over to this kid's birthday party. I think he was like 7 or 8. And there was the biggest tarantula that I've ever seen in my life. And the lady said that it was friendly, that it didn't bite. And they actually sat it on my head and I wasn't wearing a hat, and it crawled down across the side of my face, and it was all warm and fuzzy, and I could feel his little feet. I actually did that. Troubled One says, Milo is good. He's got the zoomies right now. I love Milo Troubled. I wish Milo and Kelsa could meet. But yeah, can you believe that, Troubled? And if things go well, fingers crossed, Milo, Troubled, I will get my first check since remonetization on May 21st. Because when it got remonetized in March, it was the last like 6 days. And, they sent me the announcement. I got it. Literally, I got the announcement at like midnight that I qualified. And so I just had to push one button. That was it because everything was already set up. And by 10:36 the same evening, they said, congratulations, you passed. And I was like, oh my God, it was less than 24 hours. Like, oh my God. And then I had to go in the back end on studio and make sure it was all turned on. So by that time, it was almost midnight. So then I had the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. I had like 6 days worth. And they just tacked that on with April. And then April, I had hey, I got monetized celebration. I had my birthday celebration. And now the first check is coming. And it's not huge, but it's bigger than I thought. What have I missed? Assam, you're welcome to come in, but we're not going to do any religion or politics. And there's only one warning for that. Kathy Mowry says, yikes. You mean the tarantula going down my face? Troubled One says, I used to breed and sell pythons, and a lot of my snake friends kept tarantulas too. Yeah, they're pretty cool, actually. Jay said, a grass snake slid over my feet as a kid as I was running to a neighbor's house, terrifying. Another time, family was walking through woods. Mom saw a snake and put her arms out to stop us from going. Sounds like you're still scared of snakes, Jay. True Crime Girl, welcome in. Are you Sandy? Oh my God, Sandy. I wanted to know who you are. I know we're supposed to be talking about Nancy, but everybody welcome Sandy to the channel. You are not trouble at all. Oh my God. Now, I don't know if this is true, Sandy, but somebody that comes in pretty regularly from Oregon said that you asked for my name or my address or something. I don't know if that's true because I can't trust everybody that comes in here. But I got, I don't know, maybe 40 or so birthday cards, birthday notes, stickers. But what was really funny is that somebody changed my identity. I'm April Davis, also known as April Davis PI. That's all I've ever been my whole life. And except for one person, and that's why I thought he might know, he might have something to do with it because he sent the first one. And his name, I won't say it here, but it's a guy in Oregon, in Portland, and his name starts with the letter T. He sent the first beautiful card to me, April Davis PI. And after he sent it several days later, all these cards started coming saying April Davis Platt. And I was like, huh? Like, is this a joke? Because, like, my mailbox, I literally had to pry them all out. And they were wonderful cards. A lot of them seemed to be from seniors. and they thought I was a senior. Now I'm old as dirt, but I'm not 65 yet. I've got quite a few years till I hit 65, but I seem like a senior because I'm disabled. Uh, and they also thought I was part of a group of people that suffered from depression. And I guess maybe they just assumed that because I had gone through a very, very rough cancer battle. I mean, I'm still battling. I'm cancer free right now. Knock on wood. But I got all these cards and letters from people I didn't even know. Like I got one from a very close friend in Florida. I celebrated in person with my Thai family. But out of all the cards, it was only one card came from somebody that I knew. And so I don't know who did it, but some guy in Oregon was like, it wasn't me. And he got very defensive. And I'm like, dude, don't be defensive. I'm like, I want to find out who did this because whoever did this, they have the power to send an email to whatever group that my name got donated to and let them know that I'm April Davis PI. I'm not depressed, but it still uplifted me. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, because I was briefly monetized before and nothing like that ever happened to me. So that was a very pleasant surprise. And at my age, every birthday could be my last. So if you are the person that T claims that you are, he said you were a YouTuber, but I couldn't find you because I was like, who is this? He said you were in Washington. Is that you, Sandy? Uh, are you the Sandy in Washington? And do you know a man in Portland whose first name starts with the letter T? I don't know his last name, but I do have his P.O. box. Jay's mom's reaction could cause trouble in children. Oh, Jay says, Ford, we all ended up in a pile of the ground laughing, Mom, Granny, and me. Oh, because of the snake. Um, so, True Crime Girl, you are Sandy. Oh, Sandy, welcome to my channel. If you have a YouTube channel, uh, let me write this down because I'm going to follow you, Sandy. Everybody, go follow True Crime Girl. Can you confirm, Sandy, that you have a channel? Because a lot of people here are interested in true crime. So I'm writing down your username, True Crime Girl. Is that the name of your channel? And Sandy, are you in Washington State? Hi, hearts. Welcome in. Thanks for the information earlier regarding Dina. I'm going to put a package together for her tonight. The group got your name wrong. I told the club. Thank you. And somebody also said April Davis Pratt. And the guy at the mailbox for like a week now has been saying, good afternoon, Miss Platt. And I'm like, don't start this. His name is Rafi. I'm like, don't start this, Rafi. But let me tell you, they could address it to Mickey Mouse if they wanted to, and I would take it. That has never happened, and I'm not a senior, but I am old as dirt. I look and feel older than I am because of my past, 8-10 years of health issues. I am a disabled person, but I've never had depression or been treated for depression. I do get a little medical anxiety, after all the MRIs and being in the radiation room and, the oven basically. That's kind of like there's things about that I don't want to think about in my head. But I always look at the glass as half full. I never look at it as half empty. Always keep one foot in front of the other. Now I have to have a cane to put one foot in front of the other for most walks. But so let everybody know if you haven't done so already. And please, can you put out a group email that says, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And those people can write me anytime. Heck, if they want to send me a Christmas card, I'll send one back. Kathy says, troubled, I got bitten by a brown recluse. It swelled up covering half of my leg. They put me on prednisone and I turned up allergic. Oh, that's bad, Kathy. The group is called the Smiles Club. And the guy in Oregon, I didn't accuse him of any wrongdoing, but he sent a card that was in a green envelope. And someone in that group, maybe two people in the group besides him, sent the exact same card. So when I started going through it, I was like, I think this is part of a group. And that guy, he watches my channel and he knows I'm April Davis PI. It was an incredible kind gesture. You wouldn't believe it because I have a pretty good sized business mailbox. And I went in there before my birthday and after my birthday, and I literally almost had to use like a chisel or pliers to like pull it all out. And I have saved every single card. And if I get a bag the size of a Santa Claus bag, I will, even if I have to take it to a storage facility to keep it, I will keep it until my last breath. When I'm gone someday, people are going to find these and go, wow, look at all this stuff that she got. And I am going to do another long form content video, a mail call, because I have been receiving mail from Major League Baseball teams, but for some reason, that mail has stopped coming. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. If somebody in the post office is intercepting it, yeah, Troubled, I was absolutely blown away. So, True Crime Girl, thank you. I hope you're subscribed. If you have a YouTube channel, I'm going to subscribe and I'm going to watch your channel as well. You're on my list. You have no idea. I don't know how everybody got that, though. It wasn't just like one person because it was like, what? Like, and it was funny and I loved it. And I'm thankful. But when I asked the guy in Oregon, because his username keeps changing, it started out as JLR, the good investigator. Then there was something about Oregon Pride, and there's something about Tennessee. I've got like 5 or 6 different usernames that seem to be connected to the same guy. And I was like, when I saw the one that I knew, I was like, hey, I got to ask you about this. And he totally got offended, took it the wrong way. And he was like, don't blame me because I didn't do it. And Sandy is guilty. And I'm like, who's Sandy? Like, I don't even know who you're talking about. We have Sandra, our new friend, um, a simple gal at heart who is one of Nancy Guthrie's neighbors, actually. And she's been a great, great friend to the channel since she came in. And she's busy. She's a very busy woman because of her career, but I hope she's still watching. Um, let's see. I did it, but the group got things messed up. As long as you've taken care of it, and like I said, I don't care who they address it to. As long as it had my address on it and my box number, they were putting them in my box. But the very first one was actually addressed to me, and that was from a P.O. box in Oregon, no last name, but a signed name inside the card that started with the letter T. And then I started seeing similar and some cards that were exactly the same. And I'm like, okay, I think this is part of a group. And a lot of people put stickers on the envelopes or put something on the return address that indicated it was from a group. And I thought, how do these people think that I'm a senior? And I'm not offended because most of the people watching this channel are actually in the age group of 65 or older. Um, and it's only going to be a matter of years, and I'm hopefully going to make it that long and be there too. But not a senior yet. I'm not depressed. And then this guy who got very offended, whoever he is, said that that the group, and I don't know if he was referring to your group, but he said the group reported me as DEAD. So if you've seen the video from a couple days ago, I kid you not, I can't make this stuff up, people. Troubled one, I just thought I'd give you the news since you haven't heard. I'm not DEAD if you're still here. Troubled one says, I am a true crime addict. I just watched about 4 episodes of the first 48. I love that show. I'm on vacation. Yeah, Troubled one, if you just want to go to the playlist and hit true crime, or just hit the Nancy Guthrie story, if you're just interested in that, just start watching it because I've been successful with the lives, but I've been very not successful with people watching my long form content. Uh, I've had a couple of people that have come in international that have thrown so many super chats at me that it's like literally supported the channel. And look, there's the ghost of my friend. Her picture is behind me, and she keeps popping up in my green screen. Hello, everybody. Say hi to Kelsa the ghost. True Crime Girl. This is me, Sandy, in Seattle. Okay, so you are in Washington. Okay. And I told the group to send you cards. It's called Smile Club. Thank you. Like, I still have them. In fact, hold on, Sandy. Everybody, hearts, you can run the chat for me for just a few moments. It's hard to see on green screen. I might have to take the green screen down so you guys can see it. Let me see if I can take the green screen off. Give me just a second. I'm not sure how to do this one. It's okay. Green screen is off. There, you can see my friend Kelsa behind me. Now, this is not all the gifts that I've received from YouTube, but these are most of the cards and the letters. Look at that. And this envelope came locally from Rancho Palos Verdes, and there was another maybe 10 or 20 in there that looked like they were from kids. Look at this. Can you believe this, Troubled? Are you still there? That actually happened. And then there was another mod. Let's see. I don't want to miss any of your. This is amazing that you've come in, Sandy. V-Miss says she thought a senior was 55. If so, then I'm definitely a senior. If not, I feel a lot better. I'm not a senior either. I'm a little bit older than Savannah. Hey, Deanna, we're having a moment here because True Crime Girl, everybody, if she has a YouTube channel, please subscribe to her. Yes, I saw you several weeks ago and you said your birthday was coming up, so I told everyone. You did need to do that, but like, look at this. I mean, I'm not kidding you. And then we had Trisha in here, and Trisha said that I should start an Amazon gift wish list. And a couple other people had asked me about it, and I'm like, no, I don't have that. I don't know what it is. So I set that up. I've got about 10 gifts so far. I've received socks. I've received Puma shoes. I've received a big jug, the biggest jug of Tide soap I've ever seen in my life showed up. Gift cards for DoorDash, a lipstick, mints, a cat toy, my new microphone that I've wanted for 5 years for my desktop. I'm recording this on a selfie stick mini tripod. That showed up. Like, it's just been amazing. Hearts of Gold says, that's so awesome that you got the bottom of the mystery of the cards. Yes, I've been losing my mind. And if I had not asked the guy in Oregon, who I either suspected it was him or that he was connected to somebody that it was. And then he just, he wouldn't know who your name was. Like, if he didn't know you, and he was like, I don't want to be accused. And I'm like, no, you're not. Back up the train here. Go back and watch the video. You know, I'm not complaining. I think it's the best thing that ever happened to me. It's like me doing this baseball experiment, and I've got like 8 major league teams so far that have responded. Hell, I even have some Fenway Field dirt. Like, wow. So that's happening. My birthday happened. I got my channel remonetized. I'm getting cards and letters from people I don't even know. Sounds like a 1970s Glenn Campbell song, because, yeah, I'm that old. Not a country music fan, but I remember that show. Getting cards and letters from people I don't even know. No, I cannot sing, so that's bad. So thank you, True Crime Girl. Oh, And please know that I wasn't upset. You do know him. Okay, you do know the guy in Oregon. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, because JLR Investigates is targeting him. Oh, wow, I hadn't heard that. Troubled one. I gotta go, y'all. Later, April. Congrats again, and later, chat. Thank you, Troubled one. Enjoy your vacation, man. You deserve it. Yeah, if you guys are interested in gold, like the gold community, follow Troubled one. Hearts of Gold says, back again. Kathy Mowry says she has the CW on my Google TV. Yeah, I just installed it on my new iPhone. So I will be watching that tonight with Brian Enton. Jay says, this conversation made me think of my granny's walking cane. Been looking for it for months. I found it actually needed a couple of months ago. It is. Can you believe it? Hearts of Gold. That's awesome. April, very sweet. It's amazing. The thing that shocked me the most was, besides the fact that I've actually been monetized twice now and I was able to do it a second time, that was the biggest shock. But the next biggest shock was when I set up that gift shop and I didn't even know what it was, and people were urging me to do it. Like, it doesn't hurt to do it. Just, give it a try. If nobody buys anything, and I'm like, I'm not expecting anybody to buy anything. I'm not expecting people to send me super chats and send me these gifts, or the guy from Israel to come in and send me like 100 super chats. Like, I wasn't expecting any of this. I'm doing this because I enjoy making videos. And I did it for 35 years full time. I started with Super 8 film. Then we got the first Sony Handycams in the world as test cams at an agency I used to work for. Then they built up to they had the big tapes, and they had the little tapes, and they had the micro tapes. Then they had the hard drive cameras. I've seen it all because that's how long I've been doing this. And the one thing since I got the cancer and then the heart ailment from the cancer treatment is I miss going out and filming. So at the end of 2020, hell, that was even before my heart thing happened, I started filming videos. And I didn't care if anybody watched. I just wanted to document my life. And it's turned into this. Hearts of Gold says, I'm a mini senior. Yeah, kind of. Because I am older than 55. Michelle says, it's been a while since Nancy's been missing, trying to figure something out. What are you trying to figure out? Other than we're all trying to figure out what's happened to her. Michelle says 63. I have been blessed. I've been super blessed. The fact that I'm even alive, to meet everybody that's following my channel, everybody that's watching my videos. And by the way, the majority of the people that are watching are not actually subscribed. So if you could subscribe, I think it would make a huge difference and would help YouTube boost the algorithm even further. Because if I don't get people to start watching like my regular videos, which I haven't had a lot of time for, to tell you the truth, to be honest, with all this that's happened, I don't know if I can survive. I don't know if I can keep going. Deanna says, this is so sweet of all of them. I know. And I'm so glad that Sandy came in. And I don't know if she had a chance to answer the question, if she's still here. Do you have a YouTube channel, True Crime Girl? Because if you do, I want everybody here to follow you. The PI is putting the pieces together. I knew that if I started with the good JLR Investigates, who has changed his username maybe 5 or 6 times since he came into the channel, and then somebody was spamming me on an old email that has to do with my PI business from years ago. And I was like, I told everybody one time, you got to go to the Gmail account and don't spam it, or the emails will start to get blocked. I love the Fenway dirt too. But Hearts, I'm suspecting a thief or something, because I started to get the baseball mail, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And I haven't heard from the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Cubs or the Phillies, like all the big market teams. I've heard from the smaller market teams, a lot of teams out of the Midwest, but the Boston Red Sox, like, oh my God. The last one was the Miami Marlins. And of course, you guys have all seen me wear my new favorite shirt now, the Minnesota Twins jersey. I have to say that was the best of all because that actually came in a package. But the Fenway Dirt was like number 2 on the list of everything that came. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I just thought at the end of the baseball season, I'll make a big video about this is what I did. This is the experiment I conducted, and this is what happened, and this is what I got. Is that my cat? No, that is a toy cat that I was going to sell as a reseller that I got from an estate sale in a mansion in Toluca Lake, California. And when I brought it home and set it up, my Maine Coon mixed cat, who's no longer with us, decided to declare it his own and started hugging her. And people walk by my apartment, they come in, even the apartment manager came in and said, "Did you get a new cat?" And I'm like, "No." And then everybody's like, "Oh my God, I thought the cat on the sofa was real." My cat is actually sleeping on the bed right now. All trouble went on vacation. Also, I'm sure he will be doing lives of gold panning. I know. I've learned more from him, Hearts, than anybody else that I follow in the community. And he always answers my questions and my texts. And he doesn't make me feel stupid because I'm like, "Hey, I'm new here. Can you explain this?" And he does. Kathy Maurer, you're exactly right. Well, you're very smart, Kathy. She says, "I don't think Nanos wants any help." No, he doesn't. Hearts of Gold. April, I'm going on vacation, going prospecting for a week on the wild Amanusic River in New Hampshire. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I could join you, Hearts, but I can't. V Miss. I guess it could be at this point, Michelle. I feel like nothing is possible. What did I miss? Look, they'll never find her. This was done for a reason. Someone doesn't kidnap elderly women. They don't want money or ransom. I think it's very possible that this was not done for a kidnapping for ransom. That's a possibility. Michelle says she is 63. Jay doesn't remember 58 or 59. Usually have to do the math. um, so what do I think is going on? I'd like to know why Savannah was pulled away from the news desk today at the Today Show. Hey, Jamie James. What? You've missed a lot, Jamie. We have discovered the true identity of the elusive Sandy, who is responsible for not only getting me all that wonderful birthday stuff, but somehow the group changed my identity. And we are sending hugs to Sandy. They did ask for ransom in the beginning, Michelle. Yeah, but we don't know if those notes were legitimate, V Miss. That's what we're not sure of. The FBI seems to think the first 2 were legit and the rest were all garbage. Deanna, please give us the channel so we can watch and subscribe true crime. Yeah. Let me know if you have a channel, True Crime Girl. Jay says post office employees started noticing. Possible, Jay. Also, a few of the teams have used my self-addressed stamped envelopes that I sent and overstuffed them. And when they do that, they get stuck in the machines. So I might eventually get, plastic baggies full of stuff from the missing mail unit in Georgia. Yes, it was a bluff, says Michelle. Michelle, that's interesting. She says, I think Savannah knows. Knows what? Like who did it and why? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah, what do you think happened, Michelle? Because she worked on talk show, she was giving one of her workers a hard time, had them fired. Hadn't heard that one. I hope you're doing well, Jamie, with your move. There's a lot of bad people in the world, Michelle. To do something like that, the elderly woman is out of revenge and not money. It's very possible. I've said from day one, it's revenge or money, and it's either the Savannah factor or it's someone very close to her. And there's no other way about it. She does have a channel. It's called True Crime Girl. Okay? Everybody, subscribe. Subscribe to our new friend Sandy. I am so glad because, and I knew that the guy in Oregon who formerly went by the moniker on here, the good JLR, the good JLR investigator, something like that. But he's also associated with 5 or 6 other names. I suspected that he would know that either he did it or he knew who had done it. And I'm glad that he gave me the information that it was someone named Sandy, but I didn't know who that was. And great, just found out more things. World. Jay says, I'm starting to think revenge too. Jamie James says, it's the sister. Well, let me tell you, if Tommaso is still on their radar, then obviously Annie needs to be on the radar as well. But I'm not saying that they did it. Remember, everybody here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. You did already subscribe to her channel. I will as soon as I get off the air. For real, Savannah has True Crime channel. What did you find out? Michelle says, Miss. It's Savannah? I highly doubt that. I 100% doubt that. Like that she was in New York. No, I wouldn't buy that at all. I know a few people in the news industry that know Savannah, and absolutely. Not unless HELL freezed over. Well, thanks for calling me a lady. Is it hidden true crime? Yeah, Jay, I agree with you, Jay. Why would Savannah ever? Jamie James says Annie was Nancy's caregiver. That is true because Savannah has confirmed that. She's always close to her and the home. I think it's elderly abuse of some form. It could be if they're involved. I've done a lot of elder abuse cases and I've seen things very, very horrible. And people do have a tendency in those cases, in those situations, to turn up DEAD. Jamie James says, I think Annie wanted a huge payout. And if you did come into the video on Monday, we did clear up the delinquent property tax situation. She stated she did something with someone she worked with. Yeah, we don't know that at all. Miss says, we don't know that Annie hurt Nancy, though. We don't at all. Michael Heineman, or Michelle Heineman says, got revenge. There's no payoff. Most of these crimes are revenge or money. But because you're dealing with the mother of a famous person, an enormously famous person, who's got a lot of money, not only Savannah, but everybody connected to Savannah has a target on their back, especially family. That's the first thing that went through my mind when I heard about this. Like, oh my God, Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother, somebody got her because of Savannah. That was the first thing that went through my mind as a Hollywood private investigator. However, you have to look at if she was just a regular person, not connected to Savannah, there's a 90% chance that it's somebody close to her. Everybody's entitled to their opinion here, but remember, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But I don't think Savannah had anything to do with this. But hey, I've only been a detective for 42 years and been single, paid every bill since I was 18, and I'm kind of like, I'm not a good YouTuber actually. I suck at YouTube to be honest, but you know what? I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play a musical instrument. I'm an okay couch miner. I'm an okay reseller. I was an okay metal detectorist back when I was physically able to do that. But there's one thing in my life that I have always been good at, even before I did it for a living, and that is being a very good investigator. You can ask anybody in the state of California that's in this profession. They all know who I am, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but that's one thing that I'm very good at, and I will stand my ground on that. And I don't think that Savannah had anything to do with this. Um, so why didn't they take money, bring elderly lady in back? Because she had already passed away. If it was a kidnapping for ransom, that's a big if, um, they have to have proof of life, and they couldn't keep her alive. Um, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I just don't think Savannah's behind it at all. But we can't rule out anybody else. Well, except for our little DoorDash guy, Carlos. Sweet Carlos. Pray it's not sweet Carlos. Carlos Palazuelos, we support you. Um, but everything else is on the table. Go watch my suspect video. She's been missing 3 months, 95 days to be exact. Vima says, Michelle, they will find out. I think we are going to find out. This is a big case involving a famous person's mother. The FBI cannot let this one slip through their fingers. But remember, they still haven't solved who is D.B. Cooper. And in my career, I've worked cases before for FBI agents, and I've worked for companies back in the day where when LAPD couldn't handle it and then the FBI couldn't handle it, they had to call in the PIs. And I hear that Savannah has a whole team. I hope that's true, and I hope they're good. April, I missed your comment. What was your comment? Can I ask how you know this, Michelle? I saw that one. Michelle, they will find out. Right above hers. Oh. I'm sorry, I lost the chat. But everybody, please hit that thumbs up. I hope you are subscribed. And no, a few more above. Okay, let me go back. Let me see. I heard you say, I don't think it was Savannah, Michelle. What did you find out, Michelle? Yes, Michelle, I agree. There's bad people in the world. What do you think happened, Michelle? That's all I can see, unless there's something showing up on the desktop. Could be anything. Picture this. Nancy very bad to Annie and Tommaso. Teenage son Nick takes offense, drives her home, unlocks back door, made a mistake. Family knows and forgives and covering for. I haven't heard that one before. I didn't even know that was his name. Nick. Huh. Is he old enough to drive? He drove her home? Possibly? But whoever was there that dropped her off was only there for 2 minutes. Well, we're going to find out because I think this is all going to come out. Savannah would not cover. She would be angry. Yeah, Savannah is under the impression that nobody in her family is involved, at least from a conscious standpoint. Now, subconsciously, her mind could be going elsewhere. Um, okay, VMS says, no, I said, I think Michelle is saying there may have been a situation with Savannah's work and someone took it out on Nancy to get back at Savannah. I think that is what Michelle is saying. Oh, like a revenge. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay. Like, what? Okay, yeah. I don't know the name of it, but it's on the CW tonight. Okay. I was like, whoa, not sweet Savannah. Oh my God. But yeah, because of Savannah, that's a very high possibility. I'm a PI. That's where my thoughts, I was in bed on Sunday night, the 1st, and I read that and I was like, oh my God, Savannah Guthrie's mother. Like, I didn't even know who Nancy Guthrie was, but my first, like, oh my God, it's Savannah Guthrie's mom. Like, oh my God, somebody took Savannah Guthrie's mom. You know, she didn't even have an identity to me, like, oh, this 84-year-old woman, Nancy Guthrie. I didn't know who that was, but I was like, oh my God, Savannah Guthrie's mom. Like, oh no, because I've seen things like this happen in the real world, in my world as a PI. Oh, yes, and I commented on all that above. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, now thank you, BMS. Okay. Yeah, it should be starting soon. If you're on the East Coast, it's supposed to start at 6, or I mean 9. It's almost 6 here. Yeah, well, we're gonna find out, I hope soon. VMIS, she said earlier she thinks something's gonna break on this case soon. What do you guys think? Is something gonna break soon? Lori, I saw that yesterday. You suspect Feldman, though. That's interesting too. I'm old as dirt, Michelle. Um, well, I think that the FBI knows more than what they're saying because they're not going to say anything. They're not Nanos. They're not trying to be a media star. They're trying to conduct a criminal investigation, which is most likely now a homicide investigation. I would love for Elizabeth Smart to be right and say there's a chance that she's out there and that she's alive and that we could bring her home. Like, there are a lot of people that are missing that are still alive that need to be brought home. But I don't think in her case, in Nancy's case, I think it's probably already too late. And I think it was probably within the first 24 to 48 hours. Michelle Heineman says, yes, some kind of mafia. Now that you would say that, there are certain businesses in Tucson. We talked about this on several other videos. Um, there are some businesses in big cities or cities that are close to the Mexican border that are fronts for other businesses that involve certain types of mafias. Uh, and there are many mafias from many different countries, but um, every city has their own criminal element, let's just say. Jamie James, still here just listening. Thanks, Jamie. One Take Adventures. Hello. I'm just getting ready to go off the air, One Take. Wow, it's hard to go off when there's 37 people here, and I have 35 thumbs up. And I'm so happy. Not only am I happy that Troubled One came in today, but I am so happy that we have all met Sandy, True Crime Girl. I can't thank her enough from the bottom of my heart. Now I'm going to get letters saying, I know you're April Davis PI and you're not April Davis Platt. I'm sorry. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Oh, gosh. Oh, you're not finding it. It's supposed to be on the CW. At least we identified Because I knew if I called the guy out in Oregon, that it was either him or he would know who did it. I knew that that's where I needed to start my investigation and we would have this thing solved. Remember, I am a very good detective. I knew that that was my starting point. Kathy says it starts in 5 minutes. One Take Adventures. I was just passing through, but it seems like we like some of the same content looking at your channel. Oh, I hope you are subscribed, One Take, and that you watch my videos. This doesn't make sense. It was a hit on revenge, not money. Don't be blind. It's going to be one or the other, Michelle. That is a TV network, the CW. And the Brian Inton special is coming on in 5 minutes if you're on the East Coast, because someone here said it was 9 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock here. So I've got another 3 hours and 5 minutes. But I am so happy that I've learned Sandy from Seattle. How do we ever thank Sandy? But I can tell all of you guys to go watch her channel. I've not seen one video. I didn't know who she was. And I thank the guy in Oregon who used to go by the Good JLR Investigates, which is not the same thing as JLR. That's a totally different channel or different username. So Savannah has so much money. Why couldn't she get Mother back? Well, if there's no proof of life, it's hard to get somebody back. It's going to start at 6 p.m. my time? Yeah, we're always 3 hours behind though on the West Coast. Like what comes on 9 on the East Coast will come on at 9 on our network unless it's live. The Bible is unraveling itself. Oh boy. Jamie James, it's 8:55 here in Kentucky now. You're gonna have to get used to that new time, Jamie. We rolled into 3 hours ahead. Still loving the channel, April. Thank you, Jamie, and thank you for being one of my biggest supporters. Oh, we can't talk about that here, Michelle. Remember, no politics, no religion. Exactly. Thanks for taking care of that, Hearts. And thank you, Hearts, for responding to my email earlier about that situation. Yeah, I'm going to try to get that out tonight. If not, it'll go out tomorrow. I want to send that person a few things from the channel. I was so happy to see her go live. I always wondered what she looked like. Yeah, I have like it's a poker chip, but it's an old design, and then I've got the stickers that Alaskan Assassin, he designed the logo. If anybody wants to buy anything like that, it's on my eBay and my whatnot. But because she's a member of the gold community and she's always been a big supporter, I'm gonna send that to her. Just gonna gift it to her. Oh, you don't have a poker chip, Hearts? Oh, I didn't know. I'll send you one too. I didn't know that, Hearts. Of course you can have one. Oh, she's like your sister? Yeah, I've always said, I asked you about her when I heard that you lived in Maine. Like, did you know her? Um, okay, Michelle, we warned you. Okay. Yeah, I've had enough of that. Michelle, I've had enough. Um, yeah, I'll put you on the list too, Hearts. You did get the stickers though, right, Hearts? I gotta find the poker chips. There's so much on my desk now. I have so much of this YouTube mail coming in and the baseball mail, and I'm like, where's my stickers and where are my poker chips? Mm. Just wish something new comes out. Been the same info for a long time. I know. Oh, cool. Well, I'll go ahead and send you one. I didn't know you didn't have one, Hearts. I've had a few people that have actually bought them from me on my whatnot. But if it's somebody, close to me, especially my mom, I'll just give you one. I'll just send it to you. And I'll send Dina's too, because I know she's collecting them. Hearts of Gold says, I think we will hear something from the FBI hopefully soon. I hope so, because there hasn't been one press conference. And I know a lot of people aren't supportive of Kash Patel, but I don't know enough about him to know if he's like, good at his job or if he's not. Because the FBI, even though they have a lot of CSI people and the ability to get things that the rest of us don't, they're not the end all of end all when it comes to investigations. The PIs usually one up them when push comes to shove. But the PIs, we don't have access to all this DNA stuff unless we would send to a private lab. And why would we do that when the FBI can just do that? Hart says, I saw something on News Patel was being interviewed and he felt this was handled wrong from the beginning, but they have things in the works. That's positive to hear that. Well, they are waiting for the rootless hair. The one that they should have had from the beginning because they had their fixed wing aircraft already in Tucson, ready to go. And Nanos said, I'm sending it to Florida. I was going to say something, but I could get in trouble with YouTube here about Nanos. Oh, we will see. Yeah. Well, it's 107 minutes now. Thank you to people that sent the jewels and the person in the beginning that sent the super chat. Who was that? I'll have to go back. That's how long the video's been. That my short-term memory. It's like, who sent the super chat? Oh, I'm so happy Troubled One came in. I'm happy he's getting a vacation, and I'm ecstatic that we have found the identity of Kathy, True Crime Girl. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're subscribed. I hope you watch the long form content videos, or just go to the playlist and hit view all. And just listen in the background. Oh, I love T.O. He's helped me more than anybody in the gold community. And he has some really bomb pay dirt, too. Yeah, he's one to be trusted. And not everyone in that community is trustful, just like everybody on YouTube. Night, Jay. Okay, thanks for everything you've done for me today, Hearts. I will get you that into the mail when I send out Dina's, okay? Oh, Jamie, Trish, she got into an argument with somebody during one of my lives and didn't have a problem with me, but decided she didn't want to mod anymore and that she wasn't going to be a member of the channel anymore because the chat went totally off the rails and she and another member started arguing. And they were both two of my top people in here, and they started arguing and they got into a snit. I don't even know what they argued about. I don't care. And there will be no BS like that ever on my channel. Remember, no religion, politics, cursing, bullying each other. I didn't take anybody out, but she voluntarily asked to be removed from her channel duties. Okay, well, thanks for the memories. Um, yeah, that's just immature. No matter who was involved, I don't even remember who it was involved with, but that will not ever be tolerated on my channel. If somebody wants to bully, they can bully me. I can handle it. I got thick skin. I got PI skin. I've seen and heard it all. Hell, I was born a redhead. I'm a left-handed person. I'm the 1 in 6 that gets breast cancer, or the 1 in 8. Like, trust me, I can handle it. But if you guys start bullying each other, there'll be the axe will be coming down and people won't be coming back. So yeah, that's what happened, Jamie. And we miss her, but she can come back at any time. She's always welcome. I am going now, Karen. Uh, yeah, we're the smart ones, aren't we? That's just because our brains are wired two different ways. That's why we're left-handed, and that's why I can do a lot of things with my right hand. It's we got different wiring up here that causes the left-handedness. Jamie, absolutely, dear. It's your channel. You make the calls at the end of the day. Yeah, I love everybody. I'm not going to bash any of these other YouTubers. I don't care about anybody's past. I don't care if somebody got out of prison or, like everybody here is welcome. But if anybody gets out of hand, this other girl earlier today was pushing and pushing and pushing and gave her, what, 2, 3 warnings? I should have just taken her out immediately. And she's gone, but she can come back in 24 hours. And, because every click helps. Heck, I wish I could be like Hearts, you're still here. Did you hear that? I didn't see it happen, but Curmudgeon, Alaska, apparently he's got some guy that comes in and bullies him, but he does so by sending a super chat. And then I guess says, something awful in the super chat, like, I hate you or you smell or whatever it is, right? But he gets super chats from a guy who doesn't like him. And he just laughs about it, and it makes his monthly income larger. like if you want to send me $100 super chat right now and say, I hate you, April Davis, go ahead. Hell, go to my main channel page. You'll see my Venmo, my PayPal, my Cash App. You'll see my eBay store, my whatnot store. Go ahead. I don't know who it is. I never saw it, but he talks about it. He talks about, like, yeah, people come in and they don't like me and they're sending me super chats. And I didn't take it as being facetious, like it's a joke, it's a prank, like, and I just like, wow. But see, he's a successful YouTuber because people are actually watching his videos. He doesn't even need a super chat or this little vertical gifts that God, they're helping me hold up the channel. He doesn't have to go vertical live. He can go horizontal and 400 people can come in. He doesn't need one super chat. His views alone, he has millions of views. He's got one video that's got like 2 or 3 million views. Like, that's a successful YouTuber. And apparently he's done this before. He's had many other channels in the past, and he just, I guess, finally learned how to do it. I don't know if the other channels weren't successful. I don't know what they were. Didn't know him then. I only knew him through the gold community. But he's very successful, and he's a lovely person. How was the game? I missed most of it, P6, but they stomped the trash trucks. They're hopefully on the plane right now. In fact, they may be coming to the airport near my house. I'll have to check the schedule. UA 3792, is it? I'll have to check it when I go off the air. Good night, lovely. Good night, everybody. Thank you, hearts. I will get something in the mail to you and Dina. And if anything breaks on the case, I'll be happy to come back on the air. Thanks, everybody.